Oh,
Let's talk to Harold H. Ark. P. Cock-a-doodle doodle.
I think we should do that again. It was a bit gravelly.
Okay, Harold H. Ark. P.
Oh, that's better.
Cock-a-doodle doodly doo. Ashes cricket history was changed following the Bodyline series when England was forced to play a game in Ipswich for the first and only time. And this is interesting because next Thursday at the Gabba is the second test between Australia and England for the Ashes.
That's right.
But the girls have also stolen the Ashes trophy as well, even though it had nothing to do with it 110 years ago. But anyhow, so let's talk. Where is Harold?
Yeah, Danny, good morning. Yeah, it's 89 years ago. Right now, Ipswich was playing a really big part in Ashes history. So it's an interesting story, this one.
In fact, on this day, in 1991, Alan Border set a world record for the most Test cricket appearances. He played his 126th Test match, 63 as captain, and he eclipsed the records held by India's Sunil Gavaskar.
Isn't that fantastic? And, of course, a shout-out to AB. He's probably listening right now.
Well, he is over there.
Health problems. He's a good guy.
At Canmore, he's listening.
Yes. Yeah, so all the best, Mr. Border, in what you're going through. But anyway, look, the Bodyline series, that's of 1932-33. You were probably there.
Yeah.
And it was the most controversial event, probably in world sports history. See, the England team hatched a plan to stop our Don Bradman. What they did caused an international uproar and forced a change in the rules of the game.
Wow.
The next time England toured Australia, Cricket's Board of Control, which set the itinerary, they would have their revenge. And that's what this story's about. You see, on the Bodyline tour, England played Queensland Country in Toowoomba, with the match finishing in a draw. Now, that was the fifth time that England had played in Toowoomba. But in the lead-up to the 1936-37 tour by England, which was the first after Bodyline, the Australian Cricket Board of Control voted to take the country match away from its traditional Darling Downs base and send England to play where else but here in Ipswich for the first and only time.
Isn't that unreal?
So here we are. It was December 1936. Now, England had just beaten Australia in Brisbane to take a 1-0 series lead. Now, England was then sent west out here to Ipswich for their 2-day match at the showgrounds. Now, 3 Ipswich players were selected for Queensland Country that day, that tour, including Malcolm Biggs. He captained the side 3 years earlier. He had also played first-class cricket for Queensland and later that year continued his prolific run scoring with a double century in club cricket.
Wow.
Yeah, there was Reg Whittle. He was the captain of Gatton and was also in fine form, having scored a century just weeks before the England match for a season average of 133. And then there was also Stan Faulkner, who was the best Ipswich bowler never to have played for Queensland. He took a hat-trick for East Ipswich just before this England match.
Well.
Anyway, the England team was captained by Walter Robbins, who was the usual vice-captain. There was Wally Hammond, who was the world's best slips fieldsman and one of the best batsmen that England ever produced.
Right.
And then there was bowler Bodyline Bill Vose, who had been instrumental in England's infamous Bodyline strategy. But whoever was in the team, it was undeniable that England were a team of whingers. That doesn't surprise you, does it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, now look, Ipswich's Faulkner, he took 4 wickets for 82 runs for the best bowling figures in the match, but that's not what the Poms complained about. They whinged about the change rooms being poor quality. Then they complained about the scenery around the ground not being up to scratch. They particularly didn't like the view of Ipswich Cemetery that was right next door.
Oh, it's a game of cricket, mate.
Yeah, and then they grumbled about the crowd, which each day included a group of inmates from the Ipswich Mental Asylum. And most of all, the England players whinged about our ants. They hated Ipswich's bull ants. You see, look, England's Hammond, he refused to run when he batted for fear of being bitten by the ants. So he scored a nonchalant 109 runs almost exclusively from 4s and 6s.
Wow.
Vose didn't want to stay out in the field either. When he batted, he hit 5 6s off 6 balls and then got out. And when he fielded, he complained about bull ants being half the size of his finger. Now, wherever this Bodyline villain stood, they went after him. They were trained probably. And they especially got after him when he tried to stand in slips. Hammond, who of course was standing in slips, he put 2 reefs in his trouser legs and hopped from foot to foot, trying to watch the ball and the ants at the same time. Now, the match ended in a draw, and the England players left town as quickly as they could. But the ants, those bull ants, had the desired effect, and the English were put off their game, including Robbins, who later uncharacteristically dropped Bradman to cost England the Ashes. You see, England lost 3 of the next 4 tests after those bull ants, and they never came back to Ipswich again.
Isn't that amazing? Because remember the Irish and British Lions toured several times to Ipswich.
Yeah.
In fact, I think their captain died on tour in Ipswich, and the crowds were massive, absolutely massive at the Ipswich Reserve. But where was this game played?
The cricket match was played at the showgrounds.
And of course, we've got the cemetery close by. And
yeah, that's right. And it's also within easy. Yeah, it was in easy travelling distance for the inmates of the asylum as well, which was handy.
Were they bull ants they were talking about?
Yeah, talking about bull ants, and Vose reckons they were half the size of his finger, so they were like 1.5 inches long.
Well, what about the bull ant groups? They should be out there. Should have got them back then, and we wouldn't have them now.
Oh, well, the fire ants. Oh, that's right. Maybe send England out after the fire ants. That's what we got to do. Get England after the fire ants.
I'm thinking about fire ants. But what a good story about Ipswich. How do we find this story and thousands of other stories with you?
Yeah, look, I post the West Bremer Radio story Sunday morning, straight after the next day after this. So go to any of my socials, History Out There, and you'll find a link to the website, historyouthere.com.
A big shout out to Sophie, who's a grandmother. Sophia, Sophie, so help me, Sophia.
Yeah, look, well, all that. We'll go with Sophia probably today.
Sophia's lovely, and she's a grandmother, very nice, attractive. That's your sister. Anyhow.
Yes, she is.
You have a lovely day. The time now is 8:23. I'm digging myself in, and you're on West Bremer Radio.